Okay, and using the previous problem, we found out that we had x-intercepts from that quadratic formula, that was, that quadratic equation, I should say, at -3 and at 4. Now we need to determine how do we find our line of symmetry, or LOS for short. And in order to do that, this is the only piece of information we need, is just those x-intercepts. All you're trying to do to find the line of symmetry is find the halfway point between x-intercepts. So if it gets to be tricky, if you can't find exactly what's the halfway point, absolutely draw out a number line. And now I have my my first x-intercept and my second x-intercept, and now I can do the exact same process I would to say find a median, but I can just start chopping until I find out my middle pair. Looks like I'm going to be my median is going to be between 0 and 1. I know it's going to be halfway in between, so right now I have a line of symmetry that equals 0.5. So it's halfway in between my x-intercepts. Now min and max we haven't learned, but this is super easy. All you need to do, once you find your line of symmetry, you plug that in for your x's back from that original problem. So I think our original was x plus 3, x plus 4. Now I can plug in that line of symmetry in for x to have 0.5 plus 3 times 0.5 plus 4. And I should, let me get a new here. I should have, let's say, 0.5 plus 3 and 0.5 minus 4. Now I can actually find out what those features actually are. 3.5 multiplied by negative 3.5. Multiply those together, and I should get something. 3.5, 3.5, 25. 5 times 2 is 15, plus 2 is 17. 0, 15, carry my 1. 3 is 10. I should get something along the lines of this, knowing that I moved 2 decimal spaces. 1, 2. I should have my minimum point at 11.25. Now the reason you know that it's going to be a minimum point or a maximum point, you got to go back to that original expression that we did in expanded form that looked something like this. I believe it was x squared plus, was it x plus negative 12. I think that was our original equation. And now I go back there, and as long as I can determine the sign of the coefficient of that x squared number, that's going to tell me if it's positive or negative. So if since this is positive 1x squared, since that is positive, I know I'm going to make a happy smiley parabola. If it was negative 1, then I would know he'd be a sad frowny face. So I know if it's going to be min or max, so this would clearly be a minimum point because everything else is greater, and then this would clearly be a maximum point because everything else is less. So that's how you can find that exact point, and you're going to know if it's positive or negative, which is based on the sign in front of that x squared. It's going to tell you whether it's going to be a smiling face or a frowning face. And that's how you can determine line of symmetry and how you can find min and max point. Okay?